My name is Allie, and I was one of the conference organizers of the Human Hacking Conference. And because Ian had so much content and so much expertise, we decided to give him a 6-hour training block. And I could not believe his energy level is literally unlimited. And so from the first minute to the very last minute, Ian was just on fire, and the room was never bored. There was no eyes glazing over.
What I found really interesting is that we had some of the top people, some of the top experts around the globe in their field. But when we looked at how people were registering for the conference and what the attendees wanted, overwhelmingly we saw a very large number signing up for Ian's course. And so much so that his class was the largest filled in the whole session that we had for those 3 days. When I first heard of cold reading, I thought, really, why would I ever want to know that skill? And sitting through Ian's course helped me to see that it's really not all about pretending you're a psychic. You can use those skills in everyday communications with people, learning how to influence them. I was thoroughly convinced that he's the master at the trade, and he could teach anyone to really learn those skills.
So my name's Aboudi Nasser. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer of London Stansted Airport. So I invited Ian to come and work with the team to help the team develop their persuasion capabilities, and then using some of what Ian's very, very famous for, and I think is a world authority on, which is cold reading, and then apply a cold reading for business methodology for the team to build rapport and to work much closer with their customers. During the breaks and at lunch and even after Ian had done the entertainment the night before, the team all came up to me and said, "Oh, what a fantastic experience." Well, obviously they wanted to know, how do the tricks get done, which I've got no idea. I mean, Ian's abilities are superb. They're at another level. But I think probably most importantly was during the day that we had this training on persuasion, we had the training on cold reading for business. So many of the team came up and said, that was really useful. I can see where I use it in my business and in the work that I do.
We created this Star Summit to be able to inform and educate sports performance athlete care professionals. We brought in Ian Rowland, number one, to be able to inform all of our attendees on the master of persuasion and how we can help our athletes grow and get better. He over-delivered with what he brought to the table in terms of entertainment and fun and content and unbelievable information that we know everybody's going to leave with, take back home, and use to be better practitioners in their space.
Yeah, I think in terms of the expense, it was all worth it. The entertainment value last night alone was spectacular. So Ian put on a show. He did some mind reading. He did some magic, and a great way to kind of kick off a summit. And Ian, as a keynote speaker, really delivered a lot of learning items, a lot of tips that were applicable for people who wanted to be speaking with athletes, working with athletes.
It's been a pleasure to see you. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. It's been a pleasure to meet you. It's been a pleasure to share with you a little bit about persuasion.
And having Ian for the entire time he was here was hugely valuable for us.
I've been on a lot of training classes in my career, and hands down, this is the best seminar I've ever been on, with information I've gotten in 2 days that I can immediately take back and put to use.
Ian is a fantastic trainer. Ian really brings the fun, the energy, knows what he's talking about, and really cares that you actually learn and apply the material properly. It's not just about sitting and watching him talk about it all day. You have interactive exercises and are actually implementing what you are learning.
We had Ian in today to do a full day with us, training to the group, which was amazing. We talked about cold reading and we talked about practical persuasion. Honestly, it's probably one of the best days training that we've ever experienced. I think everyone has gone away uplifted, excited, pages for the notes. There's a lot of misinformation about there in terms of how to sell and how to persuade. It was really important for me to get Ian in to actually sort of like cut through all the clutter and give people inside of this room the real practical insight that's going to help them sell, it's going to help them persuade, and it's going to help them elevate the revenue inside of the business and drive more sales and drive more growth. Today has been one of the most fun days that we've ever had. Ian is brilliant up in front of the room. He's been engaging. He's had everyone in stitches laughing, and he showed some magic tricks as well, which has just blown people's mind. It's been awesome.
So I met Ian around 2 years ago, and I think the first thing that fascinated me about him is the way he spoke to me. He made me feel so comfortable, so nice. And it was in that moment I realized that there's so much to learn from him, in terms of not just magic, but the way you put yourself out there, the way you talk, the way you communicate on stage, off stage.
Ian Rowland is highly professional, very engaging, and joy to do business with.
I found Ian extremely enjoyable. I mean, he came in with quite a large personality and quite imposing, but I think there was just two of us in the training today, made us feel very at ease, and it was an extremely enjoyable day.
Very good mix, both theory and practice all the way through the day, and a lot of interaction and a lot of ability to ask questions and check in along all the way through the process.
No, I found it extremely useful, particularly in, I think, practical practice for my day-to-day job and role, but certain little tricks that I was taught today I'll definitely be implementing within days.
So I worked with Ian very intimately for several months leading up to the conference. What a wonderful, upstanding, respectful, super surprisingly responsive, considering the amount of work that he has and the time zone difference as well. Just a wonderful human being to work with.
Really, working with Ian was a pleasure. And if you're thinking of doing it, I would say stop thinking and just do it.
So if anybody is looking for someone to come in and really take their commercial team to that next level, that's based on reality, based on practical experience and expertise, with a sprinkle of magic and mentalism brought into it, Ian Rowland is your man.
I would have no problem recommending Ian Rowland for any training purposes in the future.
I would highly recommend Ian for any training, and in fact I think we're going to be using Ian again in the future, not too distant future.
People might be wondering, should I hire Ian? Should I put him in front of my group or my team? The answer to that is 100% yes. If you've got a situation where you want people to be able to persuade people better, if you've got employees, if you've got staff members that need to sell stuff, Ian's an absolute no-brainer. I can't recommend him enough. You've been absolutely brilliant, and you should hire him today, immediately.